Hey everybody, Jamie Pate here. Welcome to this video. I have a really fun, really easy, gifty kind of thing I want to share with you guys today. And that would be this little make right here. I don't really have a name for it. It can be a gift card tag. It can be a mini album. It's great for gifting, and that's really where my head is right now, and maybe yours is too. Just all the gifting that's happening at this time of year. But it could be a little photo book as well. So I made this from a 6x8 sheet of paper. It was just, we have tons of 6x8 paper, right? So I've been thinking through what are some things I can make, especially useful for giving as gifts. So really quick, you might see here on my table this Tim Holtz Tonic Precision Trimmer, brand new. I'm just going to do a little quick shout out to this trimmer for a moment, and we'll get to making this. And you're going to love how easy this is to make. All right, so this is one of their newest paper trimmers. This is for paper and cardstock. That is its primary purpose, especially at the screaming price of $39.99. I think that is a fantastic giftable price for your own personal wish list or for a crafty friend. The reason I am really digging this particular trimmer right now, and again, this is for paper and for cardstock, is it comes with, obviously, a trimmer blade, right? And it comes with two of them. So you've already got a second one. It is like heavy duty. The track is actually spring loaded. It has this little boing, 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 this little bouncy part up here. So it kind of bounces up and down a little bit. I love that it opens this way because that's where the blade is. And we're usually working with our paper on this side, right? So that's a whole safety thing for me. I've had friends of you comment in the comments about, Jamie, you're going to cut yourself the way you're using your blade. So aren't you glad now I have a little safety blade? Yes, we all are happy for that. It also comes with a score blade. So that's already integrated into this. And I'm loving that so much because you have a ruler, and a ruler at the very top. So we can be scoring down here, which you're going to see me do that when I make my little 3-page album here, or we can be trimming up here at the top. And then not only that, you have this locking extendable rulers that come out here. So both on the bottom and the top. So you're covered in both directions, right? So that's pretty cool. Now, one of the things I'm really super excited about, because I'm all about measurements and I'm all about, being able to see my measurements. So this grid is integrated with 1/4-inch squares, which I really, really like that a lot because all the way down I'm seeing a measurement, right? And then you have little cheats on here. You have like 2 by 3.5, 2 by 3.5. For card makers, you have a 4 1/4 by 5.5 for A2 size. It repeats here. There's a 4 by 6. There's a 4 by 6. So you've got integrated measurements on this grid surface. So I'm loving that. So I'll just say it one more time. It is perfect for paper, for cardstock. We can fold these up and store it away. I think this is going to be really ideal for even traveling with. But guys, $39.99. I mean, it's a great trimmer. I just wanted to share that with you first and foremost because you are seeing me use this today. And so in the meantime, I'm going to grab a piece of 6x8 paper because like I told you in the beginning, just what can we do with 6x8 paper? We have a ton of it. We've got patterns, we've got solids, we've got cardstocks, we've got papers. This is an 85-pound weight cardstock. So you're going to see that we're going to need a good cutter for this as we work on this project. Okay, so one of the things I failed to show you at the very beginning, this middle section here has a pocket. You can make this to where this has a pocket open at the top or a pocket on the side. I made this little piece of cardstock to be exactly a gift card size. So that fits in there fantastic. If you have a thank you gift to give a friend, if you want to pop this in a stocking, if you want to give it to a teacher, I'm like all those things, right? My kids are always wanting gift cards. So this is just a fun way to not only have the play exercise, but to make something really usable and fun. Did I say fun? Fun and easy. Okay, so this is what we're going to do first. The first thing we're going to do is we need to have our piece of paper folded in half the long ways. So I'm just going to make this really easy here, I have come down here to this bottom ruler at the 4-inch mark, and with the scoring blade, just going to pass through that a couple times. And this is just, obviously you can do this without the scoring blade. I just like really clean folds. So that's why I opt for using a score tool. And this one just happens to be integrated, and we can use it right here and now. So I'm going to go to the 3-inch now, because half of this now is 3 inches, right? So we're going to fold this now in half this way. And so my little, you can see how that score mark just made for that fold to happen super easy. Now it gets a little tricky, right? If you've ever folded more than one piece of cardstock, it can get a little bulky, right? And so we have a little bit of bulk going on here. And the core of this particular cardstock is white, which I really like, because I like to come and rough up the edges and have some of that white showing. So I have some showing here already on the edge, and I'm okay with that. But what I want to go ahead and do, because of the bulk, the folds aren't necessarily perfect, but we're not here for perfect, right? We're here for having fun and making this as best as we can. So what I get to do is come in here. I'm going to come actually push up here. There we go. I'm going to trim that up, and I have a really clean edge now. It cut through those 4 pieces of cardstock really well. I'm super happy with the results. So at this point, we have just folded paper. What we want to do next is, when you are looking at your piece of paper with your opening at the top and your fold at the bottom, and you fold it again, you have 2 folds at the bottom, right? This first front fold, let's go in there and trim that. So that's what I want to do next. I don't need my full 12 inches here, so I'm going to just go ahead and pull that in. I don't need to use that for this particular project. I'm going to line up my fold right along that cut gusset. And then using these arrows on here, I'm just coming right to this first fold. Yep, perfect. All right, we'll take this out of here and set this aside for now, because at this point, what we have is, this is folded like before, right? We have our opening on the top and our fold at the bottom, but here we're open. So this is our front, but what we're going to do is we're going to take this front piece and wrap it around to the back. So now what we have, you probably have this all figured out already, is now you have this front page. 1 singular paper for a flap. You have these pieces that are still attached. Don't ever cut that, because then that's what's keeping everything together here. And then you have your back page. Okay, so now for the fun part of making a little pocket. We're going to make a super easy, fun pocket, because there's several ways to make pockets. Today we are just going to be adding adhesive to create the pocket. And since we're making this with the idea of a gift card in mind, let's go ahead and come in here. You can use any size circle punch and just cut out, chomp out a little bite. You can do both of them if you prefer. I kind of like just having the one. So now, because I want to keep this side open, when I open this back up, I am adding adhesive here right along the score line, but on the inside, because I want to keep my front page flap completely clear. I don't want that to be adhered down or hindered in any way. Okay, so I have that side, but I need this side covered up next. I'm using 1/4 inch double-sided adhesive to close off these openings. And again, a couple different ways we could make pockets, right? We could add gussets in here if we wanted to, just not doing that for this particular make. I'm gonna come in here and pull up my backer paper. If you are real good about adhering your backer paper down, it comes up really easy actually. Okay, at this point, we want to make sure we line up this edge really well again. So that's kind of my edge that I'm paying most attention to as I now adhere this down. That looks pretty good. Now I have myself a pocket right there, and I have my back page. And let me show you, we're gonna now put this together at the last part of this video, but let me just show you. I obviously added several layers using this particular cardstock as well as some of the pattern cardstock, and just in case you're curious as to where that came from. I created a pocket here, and then I added in another card, which could be a photo, could be a journal card, it could be a sentiment. I then stamped this with vellum. I stapled it in. It didn't matter that I stapled it right at the top because we have that 1/4 inch at the top of the adhesive, so that wasn't going to interrupt anything. I already showed you how well photos could fit in here too. I think this would make a fun grandma brag book if you added photos in here as well. Then I just added some layered embellishments. I have a thinking of you sentiment, and this was a card that we made in a previous video, and I thought it went perfectly with this. And that's just one idea for embellishing your, what are we going to call this? Your 3-page tag. Okay, so jumping in here, adding a couple things to this gift card tag. I'm making a pocket from a nested pocket die from ScrapbookCom, and it could be any pattern. I just wanted to keep it a little less cluttered because I knew I was going to add a clustered embellishment to it. Back to the front though, I decided to add a little bit of very subtle detail with ink and that dotted stencil, and then the box stencil is what I came in with next, and just a couple different colors that were complementary with what I knew was going to go on the cover. Super subtle. You can see it a lot better in real life, but when that card flap is up though, you can really see those polka dots, and I'm here for polka dots. I love the polka dots. So now we're going to employ our Embellished Cluster 101 formula here, and we're adding a ticket and the floral. I'm going to come in here in a minute with a die cut leaf that was literally sitting in my stack tray just waiting to be used somewhere. And the pumpkin is from 49 and Market Spice. And here for the pumpkins, you're going to see the sentiment ties in with this perfectly here in a moment. I was determined to make that leaf work, and I finally found a home for it. I wasn't sure the contrast with the acetate leaf, but I really actually like it. I'm glad I played around with it, which is a really important tip. Just play around with the pieces and the elements. It'll work some way, somehow for you, and you're going to love it. This is a postage washi stamp, and it has actually that little postage edge to it, but I kind of went in a little aggressive, and that left side I cut off the little edge, but it's going to be covered up with a sentiment here. And the sentiment's a lot of fun because it has something on there about, I'm trying to read it again because I can't remember exactly what it said. It said, "You are my pumpkin spice." So what a great way to use this for maybe a coffee house card for somebody who might just need a little pick-me-up in their day. And that's what a great thing about being makers is all about, right? Making things for other people and helping them and encouraging them with even the most simplest of handmade gifts. So one more time, we're going to walk through here for a second the book, and you can see all the details. Just added a small cluster. We already talked about that little card, the stamped vellum. I hope this is helpful to you for a gift idea. Let me know what you think in the comments, okay? And would you like to see more gift giving ideas like this? In the meantime, I will see you in the next video.